Kicking off the 2020 racing season here at Century Downs. Got some qualifiers under our belt last week, but it's time to get racing. We have a special interview here with Dave Kelly. Dave, leading trainer and driver at the mile last season. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Obviously setting up towards a big year for you, 23 horses in the barn, but you didn't start that way. You kind of came out to Alberta for a different reason.
Yeah, I began my journey out here. I kind of came out here for oil and gas in between going to university. And then when oil and gas really got slow, it transferred into, maybe catching. I ended up buying one horse to start off. And then I started working for Kathy Reed, worked at Riverside and started getting catch drives. And then from there went on to pick up a couple of owners, and that kind of snowballed into having a full barn now.
But obviously this wasn't anything new to you. The family roots in harness racing run pretty deep for you.
Yeah, I grew up with it on both sides of my family. Both my grandfathers raced, my dad, a couple of my uncles. So like me and my brother races in Ontario. Like we grew up at one barn or the other, no matter what, we had horses around.
Who's a better driver? You or Collie?
I'm giving Colin the nod. Colin, I said this on the last interview I did too. Colin can make a sawhorse go fast. So
that definitely takes a pretty special talent there. So good on you to admit that, though. But you mentioned you started with Riverside Stables. How many horses did you have in your care then?
I think we were probably racing 6 or 7 at the time, and then I had 2 of my own. And then when we went to Edmonton, I picked up a couple for Mike Dix, and he was kind of my first owner that I had kind of full control over what was going on with the horses and everything else. And those two, we had Summer in Mexico. He panned out to be really well for us. He climbed the ladder all the way to the Open, and he's probably the horse that helped to start putting me on the map here and get me noticed. And, Mike was a big supporter right from day one, and he's now got parts of 11 horses in the barn. So
it's a pretty cool dynamic coming down to your barn on race days or after the races, pre-COVID, I guess. I know when you guys were here at the mile, the owners were always around. There was always something going on. There was barbecues. Everyone seemed to be having a great time. How special is it to have such supportive owners like that to propel you forward?
It's a huge deal. Like, we are in such a sport where it's a roller coaster. You could be riding the biggest high and then have the lowest low in a matter of a week or even a day some days. But having those guys around, and they love the sport, they love the game, they love being here, and the whole COVID thing is absolutely killing them from not being able to get back to the barn and be around as much as they'd like to. But like the Pick Six crew, and then the Coonfers and everybody else that's kind of joined in with it, with Paul McDonald, Randy Smith, Mike Dix, John Birch, Rick McPhee. Like, those guys are super supportive no matter what, and they're super understanding as well. Like, a horse could race bad, and they know that we can go back to the drawing board and figure it out, and they'll come back next week stronger. And they never put a lot of pressure on me, and that helps make my job a lot easier.
Well, obviously you've been doing pretty well at your job. Again, leading trainer and driver at the Century Mile meet, which wrapped up in January there when it got pretty chilly before he headed back down south. So how did that feel to kind of go from the small 2-horse barn, 3-horse barn to the top of the food chain?
Oh, it's always a good feeling. We had a really good meet there, especially just after, from probably super finals on, those last 2.5 months. Our horses, we had a lot of horses that were a little younger. They fit a lot of good conditions. So hopefully with our 3-year-olds coming back, we can kind of continue that momentum. And like you said, the biggest thing here is with the classes and conditions, if you can find the right spot for your horse, makes driving a lot easier, makes racing a lot easier, and makes the horse's life a lot easier.
I remember those driving nights. It seemed like every night there was multiple wins for you, whether it was 3, 4, 5 on a card. You were just pounding those things through the winner's circle. So hopefully another successful meet coming for you at Century Downs. 23 horses in your care now. Who kind of are you looking forward to as the stakes season gets rolling here in the middle of July?
I'm a big fan of our 3-year-olds right now. We've got 5 3-year-olds. We got a Riverboat King 3-year-old, Stolen Moment. He raced last year. He was kind of a hard luck horse last year, but he's grown a ton. He's matured, and he looks to be twice as powerful as he was last year. And, like even at the mile there, a couple times he showed last quarters in 27 flat. So I'm hoping he can kind of build on that. I've got a Sunshine Beach 3-year-old, make some waves. He's 2 for 2 now in his short short career. He just kind of gets started this year. He didn't race last year, but he looks to be a contender no matter what. And then we have 2 3-year-old fillies the one vertical filly, she raced really good last year, and then the other filly was just too big, so we kind of turned her out, and she's come back. She made her first lifetime start at the track on 2 on Sunday and finished second in some heavy conditions. So, and as 2-year-olds, it's still early. We've kind of had some trouble with the track here, so it's tough to tell. We're only kind of in 20 right now, but we'll see when we start laying down some serious speed, they'll separate themselves.
As those screws get tightened. You mentioned 23 horses in your care. Busy few days here. Sunday at the track on 2, Monday Century Downs, Tuesday Century Downs. How many do you have in?
Yeah, so we have 23 horses, 6 2-year-olds, and 17 race horses, and all 17 are in to go. We have 5 on track on 2 on Sunday, 7 Monday at Century Downs, and then another 5 on Tuesday.
No rest for the wicked there for you this weekend for you, buddy. Best of luck. Hopefully plenty of trips to the winner's circle. Hopefully the weather cooperates a bit better this weekend. Wasn't the nicest at track on 2 on Sunday.
It was a little ugly. I was pushing to keep going, but
well, you were winning all the races. No reason why you wouldn't want to stop there.
I had one owner tell me it was like the old guy in Caddyshack when you get a really good round of golf going, and you just don't, even if it's raining, you got to push through that 18.
I think that one winner's circle photo there with Jason Kenny, I wasn't even sure who the driver was. Your colors were so muddy there, but you were able to get there, and hopefully many more trips to the winner's circle there. Thanks, Dave, for taking the time, and best of luck this weekend.
Awesome. Thank you.